Wade is on Sam Rayburn Reservoir in East Texas, and he's having a tough time dealing with a cold front that had just moved in the night before.
I always believe there's a way to catch a fish. Now, you may only catch 1 or 2 on a day's fishing trip, or you may catch 20 or 30, but I always believe there's a way to catch them. And that's a big thing about bass fishing to me. I always want to figure them out and what to do. And that's why, you know, I may have 1 to 25 different baits rigged up at any given time. And that's why when you get in my boat, there's so many different baits there. I'm convinced I've just got to figure it out. Come here, buddy. He hit it on the fall. Whoa, he's a mean one. I like mean ones when they're green this time of the year. They get a little mean. He's not as... Come here, buddy. He liked what we were throwing there. You know, we've really actually been out here for about 3 hours. That's our first bite. Not a giant by any means, but you know, I've been struggling just to try to dial in on what to do. I've downsized to a very small Ruku shad, and hopefully we can figure something out in the backs of these pockets. I would think I should be able to catch quite a few right in this type of stuff. It just makes all the sense in the world for there to be more right in this type of a drain in these pockets. But so far I haven't been able to accomplish that. I'm basically taking a Ruku shad in the Texas craw color, and I'm pumping and I'm slowly fishing it out there in and out of the hydrilla, just on the inside line where the wind's blowing. And I'm starting to get bites, and I've caught a couple of fish. And when you start looking at that, it's amazing how your mood changes once you start getting bites. Got him. Boy, he hit it hard and probably a little bald spot. He's not very big, but you know, kind of right where you would think there'd be a bass out there like that. We're gonna get right back out there on that same spot. A little bit of wind blowing in there. Both of those fish that we've caught have been hooked on one hook just outside the mouth. Pretty indicative of we either don't have the right color or it's just getting to be that high bluebird pressure situation that you deal with after a cold front, which makes it kind of hard to, what do? Slow down and drag something, soak a soft plastic, or take the fight to them? And I know probably to catch bigger fish I need to slow down and get on some of those drains or drops out there, but I haven't been able to get bit doing that, so I went to the bank and started winding, and I've had 2 bites in about 100-yard stretch here, and that's 2 more bites than I've had anywhere else. So if you like to get bit, which is what I like to do, I'm gonna keep doing this for a little bit. There's one. Never got the hook in this one either. He's starting to, oh, pretty good one here. That's 3 or 4 pounder here. He came way out in the middle of the drain. A lot of these other ones I've been catching. Oh yeah, that's the size you're looking for right there. That's the size you're looking for right there. A little better. He came more out in the middle of the drain. A lot of these other ones have been coming kind of in between the... Buddy, I'm gonna take you back to the back here where I can belly lip you. He came more out in the middle of the drain, which is big old female. It's probably sitting out there on that hay grass. I'm gonna let this one go. You know, we're about an hour into catching fish now, and it was like all of a sudden the day changed again. All the clouds were gone. You know, there's a few little puffy ones up there floating by. The wind kind of quit or changed directions again. And for the next 3 hours, I've searched and I've looked. And once again, I've thrown everything but the kitchen sink. I mean, I've chunked crankbaits. I've thrown Carolina rigs. I've thrown Texas rigs. I've gone back to the wacky worm. I've continued to throw my Ruku shad around and can't get a bite. Clouds are gone, the wind's changed, the fish have just quit. So when I summarize this trip and I look at it all, it's like I had to take advantage of that small window, of that change, of that environmental change and how they bit. And And I just never was able to figure out how to catch them any other way. Now I promise you, there's people across this lake that whacked them today, and I promise you, no doubt about it, when you go to Rayburn, that's always going on. But for me, that's how my day went down, and that's not uncommon. You know, when you get hung in a rut, or you don't find the right location, or you can't figure out how to catch them when the conditions are different from the way you're catching them. And as a fisherman, you've always got to keep that open mind, and you can't be afraid to make a long run. You can't be afraid to totally change it up. For me, all that changing up, it never really worked today. You know, I ended up catching, you know, about 7 fish on the Aruku shad. I caught 1 little spotted bass on a coontail worm, and then I caught 1 crank in a pair of rocks, which is just a random bass while we were waiting to load the boat. So you can kind of throw everything else out, and what I took away from it, I had to be pumping and letting that Aruku shad fall straight down to get a bite.